Manny Pacquiao has stunned boxing fans with his latest training footage on YouTube. His speed, strength, and athleticism are unreal for a 46-year-old, and the comments were full of fans backing him as the favorite on fight night despite the age gap. Pacquiao began the video with a breakdown of his footwork patterns, followed by mitt work with Freddie Roach. The legendary fighter-coach duo focused on situational counterpunching, especially for moments when Pacquiao gets trapped on the ropes. On the other hand, Barrios has shown major growth in his head movement and patience, an upgrade from his aggressive brawling style when he faced Gervonta Davis 4 years ago. He's now developed into a skilled counterpuncher, making him a more efficient and versatile boxer.
So you don't lose that. Awesome. Bye.
Now it's up to Roach and his team to craft the perfect game plan against the younger, bigger Barrios. Pacquiao has faced and dominated physically imposing opponents before, including Antonio Margarito, Miguel Cotto, Ricky Hatton, and Joshua Clottey. According to The Ring, he's sticking to his usual training routine in the U.S., starting with light cardio at a local park in LA's Fairfax district. With just 2 months left, the 46-year-old has limited time to prepare before facing Barrios on July 19, 2025, in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Manny, I think Rolly has the WBO 147 title. He says you're his legacy fight. What? Rolando, he says you're his legacy fight.
You can't teach speed, you can't teach power. It's God, it's from God. That's it. People can work on speed their whole life. They're not going to be fast.
Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao and coach Freddie Roach were back at the Wild Card Gym in Los Angeles as they continued preparations for his comeback fight against American champion Mario Barrios. After his loss in the Philippine senatorial race, Pacquiao shifted his focus to the upcoming blockbuster bout and kicked off training camp at the iconic gym. He shared the training footage on his official YouTube channel, where familiar faces surrounded boxing's only 8-division world champion, including a reunion with his longtime mentor Freddie Roach.
Welcome back to Los Angeles, Manny.
Boss,
Miss you.
You're looking in tremendous shape. You're ready to fight Barrios tonight and make history, Manny.
Manny, you excited to step into the ring again?
Yes.
What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, he's young, he's 30. You have 16 years on him, Manny.
Also present on Pacquiao's first day back was his son Jimuel, who is currently based in the U.S. to pursue a career in professional boxing. Joining Pacquiao were MP Promotions President Sean Gibbons, assistant coach Buboy Fernandez, and personal assistant David C. Midway through the video, former WBC featherweight champion Mark Magsayo was also seen observing and taking notes on Pacquiao's training routine. Roach later shared photos on Instagram of him and Pacquiao training together, reminiscent of their classic days in the gym.
Roger Fernandez. Si Roger Fernandez.
The last time Pacquiao and Roach worked together was in August 2021, during Pacquiao's final professional fight against Cuban Yadenis Yugas, which he lost by unanimous decision. Now 46, Pacquiao has resumed light training with Roach, 65, including mitt sessions, heavy bag work, and shadowboxing. Holding a record of 62 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws with 39 knockouts, Pacquiao has come out of retirement to challenge Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. His return has faced criticism and even backlash, with many questioning his decision to fight a younger, 30-year-old opponent. The 30-year-old Barrios holds a record of 29 wins, 1 loss, and 18 knockouts. Despite the significant age gap and facing an opponent in his prime, Pacquiao remains unfazed. "Don't worry about it," he said with a laugh when asked about the age difference upon arriving at Los Angeles International Airport on Monday. In the boxing world, the name Manny Pacquiao is spoken with a mix of awe and curiosity. His legendary career boasts countless victories, titles in 8 weight divisions, and a rare combination of speed, skill, and relentless courage. As Pacquiao's July 19th clash with Mario Barrios in Las Vegas draws near, one question continues to surface, raised by fellow boxing veteran Mikey Garcia. At 46, Pacquiao is returning to the ring after a 4-year hiatus to face the reigning WBC welterweight champion. The matchup has stirred both excitement and curiosity within the boxing world, especially given Pacquiao's legendary status and his ability to defy age and expectations. In an interview with E! News, Mikey Garcia praised the iconic southpaw but also openly questioned the challenges Pacquiao now faces at this stage of his career.
Manny Pacquiao, Coach, how you doing? Boo Boy said thank you for all the kind words you said about Manny. He says he watches the videos and he appreciates it.
Well, who else wouldn't say? What else is there to say about Manny? You know,
He's a legend.
like a living legend. You know, and I said, just you gotta tip your hat off to him, man.
What do you think, him and Barrios? We're getting closer and closer.
I've seen the videos. He's training hard.
Look, I've been around for 15.
When asked about Manny Pacquiao, the 4-division world champion told Eli Sekbak, "What else is there to say about Manny? You know, he's a legend, a living legend." The interviewer responded with enthusiasm, pressing for more thoughts. "What do you think about him and Barrios? It's getting closer and closer." Garcia, the younger brother of veteran trainer Robert Garcia, didn't hesitate to highlight Pacquiao's work ethic, saying,
People think it's just 10-second clips at Mike Tyson. No, he's really light. He ran an hour and 10 minutes, then he shadowboxed 20 minutes.
I believe. He's a hard worker. He always worked very hard. I remember seeing them train.
You're Spartan.
He was training super hard. So I know he has the work ethic and everything. I just gotta question a little bit of, because of the age and, everything that he's been out of the ring for so long. So that's the only thing that you gotta question. But I mean, if he can pull this out.
"I've seen the videos. He's training hard," Mikey Garcia said, affirming that the 8-division world champion has been putting in serious work. The interviewer echoed this, pointing out a common misconception among fans who think Pacquiao's training is just like the short social media clips seen before Mike Tyson's controversial fight with Jake Paul last year. Sekbak clarified, "People think it's just like those 10-second video clips of Mike Tyson, but he ran for an hour and 10 minutes, then shadowboxed for 20. With first-hand insight, Garcia acknowledged the intensity of Pacquiao's regimen, saying, "I've seen the hard work, and I've seen him train. He's training super hard. I know he has the work ethic and everything." Yet despite his admiration, Garcia posed a crucial question, a valid concern that has echoed through boxing history every time a legend returns after a long absence.
He will pull it off. I told him this morning and the noon.
Just like Foreman, and that, Hopkins.
Yeah.
He already is a legend as it is. This is just cherry on top.
What's up, Bita? Hey, Mikey said Manny, if he beats Barrios, is the best ever. Big G, what do you think? Big G. Big G, what do you think?
Garcia pointed out, "My only questions are about his age. Like, he's been out of the ring for so long. That's the only thing you have to question." Still, he couldn't hide his excitement over the potential spectacle of a victorious Pacquiao comeback, comparing it to historic wins by George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins. But if he can pull this off, then damn, just like Foreman, like Hopkins. He's already a legend as it is. It would just be the cherry on top. Indeed, Pacquiao's return is more than just a fight. It's a defining moment that could either elevate his legacy or invite deeper scrutiny.
Pacquiao and Barrios.
Tu opinión de Pacquiao y Barrios, ¿cómo la ves? He wants Pacquiao to win.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Porque es una historia con él.
History. It's a history, with
Nadie
him.
puede igualar la historia.
No could ever be able to equal his history, his story. It's historic.
Your dad told me once that if Manny Pacquiao was American...
When boxing historians recall legendary comebacks, two names stand out: George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins. Their stories remain timeless benchmarks for fighters chasing greatness in the twilight of their careers. George Foreman's return after a decade-long hiatus stunned the boxing world. After retiring in 1977, he came back in 1987 at the unlikely age of 38. What many saw as a novelty quickly turned into a serious title quest, culminating in his iconic 1994 knockout of Michael Moorer. At 45, Foreman became the oldest heavyweight champion in history, forever sealing his place in boxing legend. Equally inspiring, Bernard Hopkins defied convention by staying competitive well into his late 40s. He didn't just extend his career, he redefined it. At 46, Hopkins outclassed Jean Pascal in May 2011 to win the WBC light heavyweight title, breaking Foreman's record as the oldest boxing champion. But he didn't stop there. 2 years later, he shattered his own record by defeating Tavoris Cloud to claim the IBF light heavyweight title at 48, becoming the oldest boxer ever to win a world title. A year after that, he added to his legacy by beating Beybut Shumanov, unifying world titles at the remarkable age of 49.
Okay. Wala ginawat na mo ba? Ano? Wala ginawat ako? Side step ba?
With a strong resume and recent wins over notable opponents, the San Antonio fighter presents a serious threat to an aging Pacquiao. The matchup has sparked concern across the boxing world, with some questioning the wisdom of Pacquiao's return. Among the most outspoken is Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez, the undefeated WBO flyweight champion, who voiced his concerns in a recent interview with Handraps TV. Many are excited about his return, proving he is a true legend, but Manny will get hurt. He should have just stayed retired, Rodriguez said.
Fight, which to me is a little bit shocking.
Yeah.
Or that, Pacquiao has been in the ring for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's coming back facing Mario Barrios. I mean, have you talked to him? Were you shocked as well with that, that fight announcement happened?
He did mention it to me a while back, but it was kind of in the works too. I didn't really believe it at the moment. I don't think he did either, but now it's almost official, so I think it'd be pretty cool just to see, a friend I grew up with fight a legend like.
He went on to say he shouldn't be fighting anymore at 46 or 47, going up against someone like Barrios. He's just going to get beaten badly. Rodriguez's remarks reflect a broader concern within the sport. While Pacquiao's legacy is unquestionable, Boxing remains a young man's game. Barrios, known for his aggressive style and athleticism, may be the wrong opponent at the wrong time. His recent performances reveal a fighter growing in confidence and sharpening his skill set, the kind of challenge that could exploit the fading reflexes of a veteran.
It's right for Manny to come back and fight. I mean,
if he feels like he has it in him, then why not?
what is your prediction for that fight? You know, even people saying that at his age, training camp is different. You know, watching, do all that. It's obviously different being in the ring. But how would you break that fight down for us? Obviously, Mario has a height. He has the ring.
Yeah. I think Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but he's a legend. He already did what he did. So
Pacquiao, who last fought in 2021 in a loss to Dennis Ugas, has mostly stayed silent in the face of criticism. But the weight of this comeback goes beyond the physical. It's deeply symbolic. A triumphant return could further elevate his legendary status, while a harsh defeat risks staining the final chapter of an iconic career. One person who understands both the glory and the gamble is Oscar De La Hoya, Pacquiao's former opponent and now his promoter.
Come back, but if he wants to get in the ring with Mario, then I guess Mario has to show him that, he has a youth, and, Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of fans are saying, and are still kind of disbelief. But even looking at social media and the fans, they're thrilled just to see him back.
So. Speaking at a charity event for the Sugar Ray Leonard Foundation, De La Hoya expressed both admiration and caution. "I wish him all the best. Can he do it? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao's a legend, It's not going to be easy, but I think he can do it, yeah," De La Hoya said. He knows firsthand what it's like to face Pacquiao. Their 2008 dream match ended with De La Hoya retiring on his stool. Now, 16 years later, he's one of those reminding the boxing world to respect both the ambition and the risk behind Pacquiao's return.
To have him in the ring, and his fighters at that age are not competing.
I think that just says a lot about, the type of fighter Manny Pacquiao is, the stardom he has. He's 46, 47?
He's 46.
And people are still excited to see him fight. So, that just says a lot about him and what he's done in his career. So, like I said earlier, to see a friend I grew up with fight Manny Pacquiao, it's going to be pretty cool. And it's the same night. So, it's a huge night for San Antonio boxing.
Lastly, July, also September, if I'm not mistaken.
Pacquiao's potential clash with Barrios has yet to be officially confirmed, but all signs point to a blockbuster night this July. With rumors of streaming deals, possibly involving Netflix, and a broader push to bring boxing to wider audiences, the stakes are higher than ever. On his podcast The Fight with Teddy Atlas, veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas shared his concerns, citing Pacquiao's age, how he looked in his 2021 loss to Dennis Ugas, and his 2024 exhibition bout against Rukia Ampo. "I'm very concerned," Atlas said.
One of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active.
"I don't want to stop anyone from making a living or making money, but I'm very concerned," Atlas said. "This is a great man, a man who's helped his people, fought for his people, lifted them up, and even given away his own money to support them. But now, after 72 fights, he's in a position where he has to fight at 46. Pacquiao, 46, visibly showed his age in his unanimous decision loss to Dennis Ugas in 2021, a bout that came after Ugas replaced Errol Spence Jr., who withdrew due to an eye injury. The 8-division champion also struggled in his 2024 exhibition against kickboxer Rukia Ampo. Meanwhile, the 30-year-old Barrios fought Ugas in 2023, dropping him twice and securing a unanimous decision to win the WBC interim welterweight title, highlighting just how dangerous he could be for a veteran like Pacquiao.
Guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy, but you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit, than when Pacquiao fought him, and maybe that made a difference, whatever. But he did take a lot of punishment, Pacquiao, in the Ugas fight. I thought that Pacquiao, for his age...
Barrios defended the interim title once, defeating Fabian Maidana on May 4, 2024, before being elevated to full WBC welterweight champion after Terence Crawford vacated the belt to move up to 154 pounds. In his first defense as full champion, Barrios fought to a draw against Abel Ramos on November 15th, on the undercard of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Keith Thurman stands as a common opponent between Pacquiao and Barrios. Pacquiao edged him out by split decision on July 20, 2019, to win the WBA Super Welterweight title, while Thurman defeated Barrios convincingly via unanimous decision on February 5, 2022. Teddy Atlas supported Pacquiao's right to step directly into a world title shot, citing his legendary career. He also stated that Barrios might be Pacquiao's best chance to become the second oldest champion in boxing history.
Moment, even though he lost the fight, even though he took punishment, I thought he performed as well as he could. I thought he performed well. I really did. I have to say the truth. I thought he performed well for what he could do at that weight and at that point in his life. But I also thought after that fight, he should probably think about leaving, because he performed as well as he could.
Still, the Hall of Fame trainer believes the odds are stacked against Pacquiao. Considering his age, the wear and tear from a long career, and the time since his last sanctioned fight, Teddy Atlas offered a stark warning. "I just think you're playing with fire," he said. "That's all. You can move around, navigate a little bit, say this, say that, but there comes a point where, no matter how much you rearrange the furniture, you still know what room you're in. You can't fool yourself." And he's in a room where he's 46 years old with 72 fights. Boxing has a long history of remarkable comebacks, perhaps none more iconic than George Foreman's. After retiring shortly after his 28th birthday, Foreman took a decade off and eventually fought until he was 48. That story has clearly left a mark on Manny Pacquiao, who now looks to write his own chapter by returning to the ring at age 46.
It's sad because he's gonna make a lot of money, so we can't feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for, I'm just 4 years older, 3-4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're gonna get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were.
Making Pacquiao's comeback even more challenging is the fact that he competes in a lower weight class, where age tends to take a greater toll on speed, reflexes, and endurance. Unlike heavyweights, who historically age more gracefully, fighters in lighter divisions rarely sustain elite performance into their mid-40s, especially after a long layoff. And that's all for now. For the best updates on news, moments, events, and action in the world of boxing, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss quality content like this. Until next time.